Okay, welcome everybody. This is gonna be a tutorial on the Blob Boost. This is probably the most infamous trick in the entire 80% run for Castlevania 2, where you have to rely on this randomly bouncing blob to get on top of this ledge that you're normally not supposed to access, and that will wrong warp you to the last mansion in the game, which saves a few minutes on travel time. And the problem about this trick is that the blob has completely random jump heights and jump delays. So it's not something that you're even gonna be able to get every time, and guessing what the blob is gonna do to boost you up to this ledge is tricky. It's basically outside of your control. And what most players will do to get this trick when you start off is to just walk against the wall, and then like when the blob is close, they'll just like randomly jump, hoping the blob jumps at the same time. And that will boost them over the ledge. But turns out there's a bit more depth to that. There's ways... Well, it's true that the blob is completely random in what it does. There's a lot of ways you yourself can get more patterns. As another runner of this game put it, it's like you're playing poker with the blob. While it's true that the cards you get are entirely random, you yourself can make more informed decisions to turn more situations up for the better. And so, what I suggest doing is, instead of walking against this wall trying to whip jump... Oh yeah, the whip jump is mandatory, by the way. You need to whip jump this. You cannot just do a normal jump, because whip jumps make your jump higher, and they actually make this possible. Anyway, instead of walking against the wall, you want to position yourself right here. I use, press select. I use Simon's front foot as a reference, and I put it right over the crack between these two blocks, so right here. This is a perfect spot. Reason why you want to do that is because sometimes, and this is a good, this is a hard example to get, but sometimes you'll get a bounce that doesn't quite reach the wall, but falls more in this line. So if you were against the wall, the blob wouldn't hit you. But if you're standing here and you see a bounce like that, you can do a neutral jump like this and be able to actually boost over. I'll cut to when I get it, because it's a bit of a rare example. Okay, there we go, that was a pretty good example. So in that case, if I was standing right against the left wall, jumping like this, the blob would not have touched me. But by doing that neutral jump right here, I still got hit by the blob, and I was able to boost over to the ledge. So that's one way you can use more patterns. Because that's the trick, really. The blob is still completely random, but what you can do is use more patterns and know what to shoot for. You know when the best time to jump for this for this damage boost is. On top of that, because this is like only just one way, one thing you can do, and you don't want to do a neutral jump like this unless you can see it coming usually, because that gives you less time to react. That's the other key aspect. You gotta know when you can like react to what the blob is doing, and when you gotta make a read. Because from far away like this, you have all the time in the world to see what the blob is doing and see if you're getting a good bounce, and then after that it's just down to you the time to jump. But when the blob is closer like that, your best thing to do is just to make a read and know when the blob is more likely to give you a good bounce to use. So the timings are still completely random, but usually what you want to do, it's around at this range, this one, where this is too late to react. So first of all, when the blob is this close, you want to actually move to the left wall, because that will give you more time to jump. But this is too close to react. Like, as soon as the blob starts moving, you're not going to have enough time to see what's going on, and then time your jump accordingly. So what you want to do is aim for a bit of a mid-delay. So assume the blob is doing a bit of a mid-delay, and then you just jump at that point. And then you just hope the blob is doing a high jump to boost you over. So that's how about how I aim it, and that one almost worked. That was a high jump, just slightly up on the delay. So that's the other tip. You gotta know the range. Right about here, I will still react. There's a bit of a range. Here I can react to exactly what the blob is doing. Here, maybe a few pixels closer, but like, yeah, right here. If the blob was standing on the ground here and he was jumping, I could probably react to movement, but not to exactly what the blob is doing. So what I will do here the blob is gonna be a bit closer, but what I will do here is I will watch for the blob, and then as soon as I see it start to move, I will jump. So that's a bit the mid-range. Yeah, barely any time, basically. So I can't see what the blob is doing, but what I can do is I can eliminate the delay problem. So I don't have to gamble on the delay, I can just react to what the blob is doing and then just hope I get a high bounce. So here is still the range where I can react and see whether I can jump or not, whether I got a good jump. About there will be a good range to react to movement. And then when the blob is really close, you just gotta gamble on a specific delay and hope you get a high bounce. It can work. It's just a bit more unlikely. You are more likely to get the blob, believe it or not, first try than you are specifically third try or whatever. Because when the blob is approaching you, that gives the blob many opportunities to do a high jump, and you have a lot of time to adjust to what the blob is doing. Another thing, when the blob is too close, like this, the best thing for you to do usually is to try and lure it out when it's like basically hugging the wall, like this. Oh, I save stated by accident, but when it's too close, even if the blob were to jump right here and do a high bounce, I wouldn't be able to boost over because the blob would bounce off the wall before it would even like have the chance to boost me high enough. So what you want to do when the blob is too close, you actually want to get away, crouch, hope that the blob jumps over you. Even if it hits you, it's fine, and then you have another chance to try again with more distance. Kind of like that, and then you just try and go for it. That almost worked. But yeah, I believe that's about it. I'll do the Blob Boost just a few times to give a demonstration of how I play this generally. But other than that, what I recommend is just having a lot of experience. This is a trick that definitely recommend practicing a lot if you want to get a good time. It's easy to blame the blob for just not giving you a good bounce or a good timing, but more often than you'd think, you'll get a good bounce in there, and there's no shame in admitting that you just missed the timing. It happened to me many times, it happened to many runners, to where you get a good bounce that you could have used, but you just mistimed your jump and you didn't make it over the ledge. So make it a thing on you. This is execution. Treat it as an execution trick. Although it's true that RNG can totally mess over with you, and sometimes you're just not gonna get a good bounce that you can't use, but the important thing is that when you actually do get a good bounce to damage boost up there, that you're able to use it pretty much every time you get it. So practice to that point, and I'm gonna go into trying this Blob Boost a few times for a few minutes, just to show you how I play this in general. Alright, so here we go. Good bounce, there I have to react to movement. Here I have to just gamble on a timing. That's probably too close. Gamble on a timing, lure it away, go. And that's the end of it. Closer, lure it away. That almost worked. I had a few bounces in there, just slightly off on the timing. But that was a prediction, so not much I could have done in there. That was a very good bounce, first try. Get closer, go. So I reacted to the movement, not quite to the bounce side, but as soon as I saw movement on the blob, I just went for it, hoping for a good bounce. Another gamble, here I gamble, lure it away. That was almost a neutral jump setup. I think if I was just a little further ahead, I might have been able to boost up there. And react. Oh, that was a neutral jump I set up again. But Not much I could have done there. That was a prediction. Put it away. And go for it again. That almost worked. And I'm dead. Put it away. Almost worked. Should have lured it away there. The way I could have boosted. I react to do movement there, didn't work. Closer jump. Predict. 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 Almost worked. Again, that could have probably worked as a neutral jump. I just had to stand a few pixels further back. Closer predict. 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 Although I probably should have lured it away there. Another prediction didn't work. Predict. Here I can react again. Now I have to predict. Almost worked, just slightly off on the timing prediction. And there we go. Okay, hope that helped. Hope that helped somebody up there. So have fun, have fun.